Wozniak. Wozniak.
What, Josh?
We need to do something.
No.
Yes, we're dropouts out of college.
No.
Wozniak.
What?
We need to do something. What could we do? We gotta make some money.
You start a business.
Start a business. What will we name it?
I have an apple over there. Let's just name it Apple.
Apple.
What are we gonna make?
We make like, I don't know, make computers and crap.
Do you know how to make computers?
No, but you do. That's all that counts.
You're a business guy. Shoot. You can do the business then. I can make the computers.
Let's do it.
Sounds like a plan. Good
Okay.
night.
Drop it hard.
Bro, did you just see that?
Yeah.
That could be us one day.
Yeah, we gotta do something though. Invent something.
Start out with a computer.
Sounds good.
Guys, I'm Tim Cook, and welcome to our 40th anniversary keynote here at Apple. I've got Jonathan Ive here going to give a brief history of our company and where it is at today. So take it away.
As Mr. Cook said, I'm Jonathan Ive, Senior Vice President of Design here at Apple. Back in 1976 on April Fools, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, two college dropouts, decided to make a company. They wanted to make something big, and so they decided to make computers. Later in 1976, they started with production of the Apple I. This was the first user-friendly personal computer ever created. Before that, computers was the size of this room here and could only compute a very small amount of information. With the Apple I, it had no monitor and keyboard, which were produced later with the Apple II. It was able to compute a large amount of information in a small
And in 1978, when we had the Apple II released, our profits went from 7.8 million to 117 million. That's how big of a hit the Apple II computer was.
The Apple II incorporated color graphics, which is a huge explosion in the computer world. Never before had computers had color in their screens. This also came with a keyboard and a monitor, which allowed the user to have everything in the computer they needed. In 1980, the company decided to go public, which meant an explosion in business and also people buying shares in the company.
Then in 1983, Jobs hired Scully, which became the president of Apple at the time. During that time, Jobs did not like how Scully was running the company, so in '85 he left and went to a corporation called Next. Then he also bought Pixar at that time.
As Tim Cook mentioned earlier, in 1980 the company went public. That same year they introduced the Apple III, which had technological advantages above the Apple II. Just kind of like a step like the iPhones are today, like the 6S, and then the 7 we're going to be releasing today. In 1985, Apple rejected Bill Gates' offer to license Apple's operating system. This would prove to be a great decision because Microsoft became the #1 competitor of Apple, which gave it a boost, I guess you could say, in competing its markets.
After the Apple III computer, we released the Macintosh on January 22, 1984, which set the standard for every personal computer at that time to date.
Then in 1982, the Mac II and the Mac SE came out, creating a huge gap between the original Macintosh and the Mac II. They had faster computers, better graphics, and better operating systems. The next few years were changed for Apple. They hired Jean-Louis Gassi as the president, which in the same year he became president, introduced the Mac Portable. This was a very portable computer which everybody could use in their daily lives.
After the Mac Portable was released, in 1991 we released the PowerBook 100. This was the first computer to offer our System 7, our color OS. This was going to be used for many years to come. and changed the world forever.
The years 2000 through 2001 were huge years for Apple. In 2000, Steve Jobs became the permanent CEO of Apple Incorporated. Apple Computer Incorporated. They later changed the name to Apple Incorporated. In 2001, we realized that many consumers needed music at their fingertips. They were carrying around huge boom boxes and Sony 6-track cassette players. And so we decided to make something that would put hundreds of thousands of songs in someone's hand.
And at that point, we created the iPod. This literally put hundreds of thousands of songs into your fingertips in your back pocket. Just pull out your iPod and you can listen to any song, any genre from any artist around the world.
Also in 2001, Apple released its first retail store in McLean, Virginia. In 2002, Apple went worldwide with their retail stores. Everywhere you could find a retail store of Apple. Also, in 2002, Apple re-released its iMac G4. This would become the standard for many years to come as it replaced the PowerBook 100. Also, the next year, Steve Jobs was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, which was a fatal blow as he died back in 2011. Also in 2003, iTunes came out. This was compatible with any Mac computer, even Microsoft computers. You could run the system on your computer and download any type of music you wanted onto your iPod, which released in 2001.
And then later in 2006, we released the iMac, the MacBook, and the MacBook Pro. These at the time were the highest computer advantage at the time. They had the highest technology. They were the most powerful portable computers at that time.
Later in 2007, we made the biggest release in our history, probably in the history of the century, the biggest technological advancement in the entire world to this point. We released the iPhone. The iPhone offered many advantages, as it was the first smartphone that had a touchscreen interface where the user could just touch the phone and it would react instantly. It was also a very powerful phone for its time, as we have, created better phones, but at the time, it was extraordinary. It was almost like out of this world when we released it.
Throughout creating all these products, each individual one we have continued to make better and better. The iPod, the iPhone, the new MacBooks, all on the bleeding edge of the technological year as it is today. And that's where we're here now. We're here to release our new iPhone 7.
Now here's what you all have been waiting for, the iPhone 7.
Introducing the iPhone 7. Sorry about that. The iPhone 7. The iPhone 7 comes with many reduced features. As you can see, we have reduced the screen size by 5 inches because no one likes a big screen. Secondly, we have added a keyboard because no one likes touchscreen. Since nobody takes pictures, we have reduced it to the fact that we have no camera on the iPhone 7. The processor on this is very low, and the memory is 1 gigabyte compared to the 16 or 32 or 64 on the iPhone 6. And a bonus, the iPhone 7 comes with a built-in slide case. This way, you can just put the case on the front and close it and drop it.
iPhone 7 is way crappier than the 6S. iPhone 7 is not responsible for eyesight loss, paralysis, or death because of the lack of a lit screen. iPhone 7 is $599 without contract and $2,000 with contract. iPhone 7 is not responsible for broken slider due to abuse. iPhone 7 is junk. Please buy responsibly. Must be 89 years or older to buy. Please abuse the iPhone 7 as much as needed and may also be used as a stress toy. iPhone 7 is not responsible for a lack of touchscreen, slow processor, less memory, or lack of camera.
Buy the iPhone 7 today.